For several years, Marvel Comics has done something called the Young Guns program, and then there were the architects when they wanted to go to writing, but nobody really cared about that too much. And then they went back to the Young Guns, and this includes people that are Marvel is recognizing as up and coming artists. Sometimes these people are exclusive artists, sometimes not, but they've named the Stormbreakers because Young Guns is ageist. I don't know what the story is, but anyway, we got the Stormbreakers, and this is the group of exclusive artists. It's a little bit different to Marvel. And who are they? Who is the 2020 class of Stormbreakers? Hey everybody, this is Perch. Marvel Stormbreakers. Why are we calling it what Stormbreakers? Is that
Put a spotlight on them, and their careers have blossomed. I mean, they've become the biggest names in the industry.
Superstars.
But now we're doing something newer than Young Guns.
Yes.
Young Guns is now, that's old.
Yep.
Right? They're old guns. What do we got?
We have a new initiative that we're going to be announcing that is going to bring these guys, the next generation of comic book pencilers from around the globe, and put them on Marvel's biggest projects and identify them as the next generation of Marvel's elite artists. And we have a new name. Do you want to announce it?
Hang on, I'm channeling my best Stan Lee.
Stormbreakers. Congratulations to this year's class.
we have Marvel Stormbreakers, and these are Marvel exclusive artists. These are 8 artists that they're going to be promoting heavily that you will not see for other companies, and they are embody pure talent and creativity that time and time again have shown us there are no limits to what visual storytelling can do. Let me actually cut in here. I think these talents, and to its credit, I think we've got 8 very different art styles, and there's some cool stuff in here, and I mean all good. So I no shade. Please, nobody interpret any shade of me to any of these artists. I think they're really good. But the marketing from Marvel drives me a little nuts. I don't know why. Stormbreakers, I don't know. And then they mix in a Beta Ray Bill and a hammer analogy in here, and I just I mean, God, hire some hire a marketing person. What are you doing? What are you doing, people? Anyway, in the past, Young Guns have included people like Steve McNiven, David Finch, Jim Chung, Oliver Capil, Billy Tan, Simone Bianchi, Lintel Yu, Daniel Acuna. I mean, so you can go on and on and on. And then, like I said, they briefly called this in 2010. They had the writer architects, which included Jason Aaron, Matt Fraction, Jonathan Hickman, Ed Brubaker, and Brian Michael Bendis, which always felt a little like throwing the writers a bone. I don't know. And it's been all over the place. And they also, we had the all new, all different Young Guns that featured a bunch of people, I think all of which are mostly, about half of them are still with the company. Ryan Stegman's still tearing it up. And then you had 2 years ago, we had Pepe Larraz, Javier Garron, Marco Concheto, Aaron Cooter, Mike Domingo, and Russell Dowderman as kind of the new Young Guns. So anyway, who are these people? Who are the 2020 Stormbreakers? I don't know why. Just that it's weird. It's weird. Well, the biggest one, probably the name that is getting a lot of attention on the internet, is Peach Momoko, who is a very, very popular cover artist and is being promoted all over the place. Done a lot of variants. Has worked for Dynamite and DC and Image. I don't lead with Dynamite. IDW, Boom, Titan, but is now a Marvel exclusive, and is in theory. I there's no word of whether it's just going to be more covers. I suspect more covers, but Peach Momoko is number one. Pat Gleason, who a lot of DC fans were heartbroken to see go, who did Superman and Super Sons, reportedly had some issues with some of the hires and others that kind of went over to DC. So Pat Gleason came over and has been putting in, I think, some of the best Spider-Man work I've seen in many years. I think Gleason it's just his stuff looks really nice. There's a Spider-Man cover coming up that's kind of the mask drawn in webs. It looks really, really impressive. The next name down the list, a lot of people are familiar with, RB Silva. Of course, he did Powers of 10 and has he's been around for a bit. I think his name is getting bigger and bigger in comics at the moment, and certainly he's one of the top talents that Marvel has. Iban Coelho is he's done some work on Venom. It's probably where most people recognize him, but he did a little bit of work for DC, and I think I had heard that Iban Coelho was trying to be kind of enticed to come do some projects for DC in 2021, but apparently he is Marvel exclusive now. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Juan Cabal did All New Wolverine, Elektra, Guardians of the Galaxy. I think has a kind of a slick style. I definitely is one of those artists that I think looks a lot different depending on who's inking, but has kind of a slick kind of style, and we're seeing a lot of that on Guardians right now. Carmen Carnero did Captain Marvel and has done I don't know, a decent amount of Marvel work as well. Did Bombshells, and rumor has it will be on the new X Corp title, although nothing has been confirmed there. Natasha Bustos did all of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and is one of those artists that I think is really good for kind of truly the YA kind of world and market, but is for whatever reason that I feel like Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur is probably Marvel's success, or in that world is a true kind of long lasting success, and largely was I'm not ignored, but just that they just did not market that title like they needed to. Anyway, Natasha Bustos, draws. It's interesting because I think she can draw pretty interesting kid-friendly art without it feeling dumbed down kid-friendly. Does that make any sense to you? If you know what I mean there. I think some of the other attempts Marvel has done for their younger audience titles have always felt like it's just crappier art, if that makes any sense. But anyway, so good for her. And finally, I like Josh Cassera, who has drawn a number of things, but also drew recently Secret Empire, X-Force, some issues there, and has a kind of a very distinctive style that you're seeing right now in a lot of the very, very much an X-Force kind of style. So anyway, 8 artists: Carmen Carnero, RB Silva, Natasha Bustos, Patrick Gleason, Iban Coelho, Peach Momoko, Joshua Cassera, and Juan Cabal. An interesting kind of mix. What's curious about this is 2 people from the U.S., obviously Patrick Gleason, Joshua Cassera, Peach Momoko from Japan, RB Silva from Brazil. But then you've also basically got 4 people from Spain, which is, an interesting, just an interesting mix. Four people from Spain hailing. It's hard because Marvel's hyping up kind of their nationality, but it doesn't indicate where they currently live. So maybe they currently live there. Who knows? Nobody knows. But at any rate, you have Spain dominating the field with the Stormbreakers, the next generation of elite artists, all signed Marvel exclusive. So there you go. So the question goes out to you: who is missing from this list? I think definitely. The one thing I'll really give this list, it really has 8 very different styles, and I think that's pretty cool that we got 8 very kind of distinctive, very different styles. It's really nice to see Pat Gleason getting some love. I think he was just a huge part of DC in 2018 and some 2019, and I think he was just did some really great work. And so I'm glad to see him kind of coming in. It definitely seems like he's like going to be the big Spider-Man guy, and so it's all good stuff. Juan Cabal, I'm definitely interested in seeing kind of a more high profile project. RB Silva, of course, been doing great work. There's a lot of interesting people on this list, and it's a solid list. I just can't get over that name, Stormbreakers. I just can't quite do it. I don't know what to say. But what about you? What are artists that you think are being overlooked right now? Are you happy, sad, miserable, excited that these creators have been signed as exclusive to Marvel? Do you think that the Young Guns, Stormbreakers, whatever else matters anymore? Do you think that is anybody drawn to comics in this way, or is it just like, hey, it would be a great way to promote these up and coming artists, like give them some stock and maybe a higher cut? But I guess they get some of that being exclusive. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think of this list, who you love, who you don't care about, in the comments below. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. But other than that, thanks for listening.